Cooligans live from the what? The Central Defense Office of the People's Republic of Blangola.
Yeah, you know, this is it's now become a very bureaucratic, institution. All right?
People watching are like, what happened to that door? I'll tell you what happened. It got Blangola.
Blangola. You got to put the accent goes in the right. You know, we'll figure it out. But no, if you're watching this, you might be seeing a Blangolan flag behind us in the studio.
For everyone listening, it's just as ridiculous as you're picturing. Okay. Shouts to Miguelito, who's here, but under the weather. He's still here.
If I run out, if you hear a crash over here, I might just be running out, throwing up.
Okay, yeah.
And also, if you do hear that, as soon as it gets back, we will find out how soft the toilet paper is here in the Blangolan offices.
Okay, look, if you have been tuning into the show for a couple years, you know that bowels come into the picture.
Bro,
okay, the bowels are very much a part of the Cooligans experience.
It's not just skits; it's also scat.
Okay, we sound like an episode of Seinfeld, dog.
Miguelito slaps the bass.
Damn it, bro.
So, yeah, we're excited to be here. Shout out to our producer, Miguelito. He's a little, not feeling great, but brought in the Blangolan flag, which is a lovely surprise for all of us. So
simple Blangolan government rule. There's no days off. No sick days.
Okay. It's a lovely country, which, John Morant will be playing basketball there soon. So it's going to be quite...
Only league that'll hire him. He's already met the qualifications twice.
You would be a perfect fit, my man. After the second video, I'm like, my man, you have earned Blangolan citizenship.
I feel like you got Blangolan in your blood, my G.
So, as always,
Cooligans, buddy.
Welcome to the Cooligans. My name is Christian Polanco.
My name is Alexis Guerrero, and I'm starting to see why Levitar doesn't put us in the main ads.
Okay. You know, why can't this be a part of the sizzle reel?
We also talked about John Morant. We just took a different spin.
Okay, all right. The sports landscape can be a bit saturated with some of, similar takes.
Right.
The Cooligans don't have that problem.
Right. When we said we were giving him the keys to the city, we didn't mean like door keys. That's your fault. That's your fault for expecting that.
I just feel like we're sometimes not speaking the same language sometimes. So
ridiculous.
This is a footy/soccer show. We got to get to a lot of things right now. It's we have to start on a high because if you're an Arsenal fan, it gets pretty sad pretty quickly.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
But Arsenal, we have
to talk about this. Suddenly, I'm not feeling so good.
Okay, we're gonna have to get a squatty potty for Alexis right here.
Actually, it makes my butt numb. I hate them, bro. I hate them, bro.
Okay.
I think I got too much.
It's not the squatty potty's fault. I'm gonna say that.
No, I think I got too much cake for a squatty potty, bro.
What'd you have for breakfast?
My aunt does that. She's the skinny one out of all of us.
Okay. So, but Arsenal looked for. I mean, there was, I think, only one.
Hey, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
We almost
by the
forgot.
way.
Hey, how's your mother doing? She all right?
Okay, we got to check on her.
Yeah, she doesn't return our texts anymore.
Okay. But Arsenal, I think it's been maybe 1 or 2 weeks outside of up until the match against Manchester City from what a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Arsenal were in first place for a pretty long time.
247 days in a row, and we've dropped 12 points in the last 7. Is that what you were looking for?
My man, Statman Alexis. Love it. Okay.
Well, we got Scatman Miguelito.
Okay, everybody got different hats.
It's a different role I played today. I'll take it. I'll handle it.
Okay, it's just his hat is a little messier.
Yeah. Look, there's certain jobs that need to be filled here in Blanco.
So, but yeah, it's have you come to accept this unfortunate reality after so much success for Arsenal this season?
I think some of you forget that I was in the room when Manchester City beat us.
Right.
So that was the moment where the long walk along the canal on the way home so that we would not get murdered by the home fans was sort of a moment of realization for me that this was most likely not going to happen. in hindsight, when we look back at this season, I'm not trying to put a spin to it now, because if you guys want to make your bottling jokes, go ahead and make it. But I think when we look back at the season overall, we'll look at this as a positive season to finish outside of top 4 and to finish in the top 4 easily. Yeah, but I think we'll also see it as a missed opportunity. And it's really our fault. And look, I've said this twice now. I'll continue to say it. This morning I asked Anita about it. At some point, we have to start asking questions of Miguel Arteta, who I'm a massive fan of and a big supporter of. What's going on at the end of the season, whether it's he's burning players out or whether he's, uncomfortable using a rotation, or whether it's a question of depth, a lack of depth that he can't use a bigger rotation. This is the second year in a row where we've collapsed at the end of the season. We've capitulated at the end of the season. We missed out on top 4, not just because we lost at Tottenham. It's because we were falling apart on the way to that Tottenham loss. Same thing with City. We keep being given opportunities. Come on in. Hey, how are you?
How's it going?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you can live right there.
It's perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate
Mail
it.
lady dropped off.
Okay.
Find the
That's
Blangolan
Postal Service.
Postal Service. I love her. She saluted the Blangolan flag as always.
Yeah, she was like, I don't know what the hell's going on in there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
So thank you for breaking this up, because it was starting to get terrible to say. But yeah, this is the second year in a row where towards the end we've completely fallen apart. And at some point, Mikel Arteta's going to have to give me, or us fans, me specifically, us fans,
What does he owe you?
a reason as to why this continues to happen. And also next season, it's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on, because I do believe that Mikel Arteta has what it takes to be the manager of the next, I don't want to say Wenger because people are going to put too much on it, but the next long-term manager of ours, long-term meaning a lot of success through the years, so on and so forth. A 3-0 against Brighton, as much as it would have been great if Everton would have been able to hold Manchester City, tall task, hold Manchester City to a draw.
I mean, a mountain. It's a mountain to climb.
There was I kind of had this belief that it might happen before, whether we lost or not. I kind of like, Everton might kind of get this thing done.
Yeah, I guess. Look, I mean, they beat Brighton 5-1. Their last match. So you think maybe the confidence is there. Maybe they can do something.
That's not a confidence thing. That's a tactic thing. And Arsenal played right into the way De Zerbi wants to play, which, again, this goes back to Arsenal played right into the way Manchester City want you to play. And, do you change tactics now? What message does that send to the team? If you start to be like, all right, I know we've been saying we're going to play this game, but all of a sudden we're going to go in a low block, or we're not going to, threaten as high, press as high, I guess maybe that sends the wrong message to the team, but at the end of the day, you have to have the players that can defend the sort of artificial, whatever they call it, artificial counterattack that De Zerbi likes to play.
Okay,
bro, if you're gonna come up and press them, you're falling right into their trap.
Is it as simple as Arsenal got a couple bad injuries at a bad time? I mean, just Saliba essentially.
Saliba was the biggest
because
one.
Look, the draw to Southampton, what was the other one? It was 3 consecutive drop matches with drop points. To me, that was the season, because even you lose to City twice.
Southampton was the one that hurt, but Liverpool was a positive. That draw was a positive,
right?
That was at Anfield.
And West Ham was the third one.
West Ham, that was a bad one.
West Ham was tough, but you come back against Southampton, you're like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? I get it, but yeah, I mean
it's essentially those 3. It's about 6 points dropped that were the season. I mean, that's a lot of time. Obviously, a lot of people were focusing on the Arsenal City match, but those 3 matches, and especially
because we're still in first. Have we win those?
And you were in I believe in 2 of them were from winning positions, right? You were winning the game, 2-0 leads. Same Liverpool, I think. Not with Southampton. I forgot which ones specifically, but there were leads that you guys dropped, and to me, that is that's really where the season was lost. I mean,
Southampton was a comeback.
Right.
But yeah, Liverpool.
But also, you shouldn't be in that position with the last place team. Obviously, Southampton were relegated. So,
agreed. I don't think we should be losing to Brighton 3-0 either.
Yeah, you would look. They should have won. They should have sorted this game out in the first half, and so it was unfortunate. But look. I mean, I was watching some Arsenal fan TV. clips, and it's just like it's an interest. It's
Just got the lotion and some tissues.
okay. I got the right music going.
Some Jade.
It is a. I mean, I feel somewhat bad. I mean, you know, for Arsenal fans. I mean, it's like it was in their hands.
People are gonna
for
think
so long.
People are gonna think I'm lying, but I feel bad. I feel terrible, you know, because it would have been a good opportunity. But last season we missed out on fourth. We came storming back, and now we're gonna finish second. That's great. I'm expecting that next jump, which is to win the league next season, right? If you want progress every year, the only way to progress is to win this league. I said this about Manchester United when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had them finish second. The only I guess we could win trophies next season, but the only step up for you is to win the league next year, right? That's the only way for you to make progress. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to hold Mikel Arteta to the same standard. But I do think being in Champions League, getting back to that position after so long being out of it, these are all positives. But there's a bitterness. There's a bad taste left in your mouth because we were at the top of the league for so long. But people were like, oh, City's having a down year. Bro, they were killing it. They just weren't as...
They just didn't start strong.
Yeah, they just didn't start as strong as everyone thought they should.
Right.
They were still very strong. You know, there's been times where it's come to the point where in order to beat Manchester City, 92 points is what you need in a season. Mm-hmm. That's it. There's just no other way.
Yeah.
And also, low key, if it wasn't for us, this league would be boring as hell, bro.
Yeah, it's getting to, I was just going to say, like, Premier League is kind of getting...
It's a one-team, it's League On.
It's Bundesliga. It's getting like anybody but Bayern, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's like one weekend of matches left in Bundesliga, and I'm watching Dortmund like, come on, guys, just sort this, get it out. And I'm just like,
Schalke fans are like, come on, Dortmund, get this done.
And Premier League is kind of getting like that. I mean, you're seeing, look, I mean, first place is 85 points, Man City. Second place, 81 points, Arsenal. And then the drop is pretty stark, 66 points with Newcastle and Manchester United. So,
right, Manchester United had a bad season. If not, they'd also be in the competition. They'd also be in the... I don't know if they'd be competing for first, but they'd kind of be... You'd expect them to be higher than 66 points if they didn't have a down season.
Right.
And Liverpool.
Well, you would expect it would be it to be a little bit closer than this. I mean,
right.
It's not... what's the difference? What, like about 16 points, 15 points or whatever? That's, I don't know. For the Premier League, I mean, I think it says something about we can talk about parity and stuff like that, but it should, with the amount of money across the entire league, it should be a little closer than this. I mean, we've had this for a while with City, Liverpool, the last last decade or whatever, but this is I don't know if it's necessarily concerning, but it should be. It should be. It should say at least.
In fact, I'm willing to say that like a lot of the lower half of the bottom table teams should get together and give us their best players.
That's
just so that someone other than City could win this damn league next season.
Well, I wonder if Manchester City can deal with. They have the money and they have the ownership that will like, oh, what does Pep need? Fine, yeah, we'll bid. We'll do whatever we got to do to bring in certain players. But
an example is Liverpool pulls out of what's his name? I was going to say Gio Reyna, which I know that's not true. Jude Bellingham.
Right. Mm-hmm.
City is involved. It's like, bro, I mean...
Yeah. It's and that's the thing.
The only positive is that Gundogan is most likely leaving on a free to Barcelona.
Okay.
I will fly him there directly. I'll take care of it, dude.
I will do the same exact after what he did to Everton.
Blangola Airlines, baby.
Okay. Well, we may get you where you need to go.
Yeah. I suggest you don't check your bag. It's the actual slogan for Blangola Airlines.
Just hold it close to your chest,
yeah,
bro.
hold this Apple AirTag.
we might have to find you as well. But what was the point I was gonna make about this? So Arsenal are oddly for a modern club and for a club that are in second place in the Premier League, they're oddly like pragmatic. They're like a little too frugal. They're responsible with their money, and you can't be.
I don't know. They spent the most in Europe last summer.
Did they?
Yeah.
More than City.
Yeah.
That's news to me. I didn't.
That
know
is
I
news
can
to me.
check that out.
I did
Yeah.
not.
Go ahead.
We're gonna have to
Fact check.
We're gonna have our scat man check it out. We need to see if this.
The kid's on top of the scats. There's no statistics that he isn't aware
So, but
of.
even that, even if they did make a few purchases, but they don't bring in the absolute big name like what they were Caicedo was
You're right. 149 million in summer of 2020.
unreal. I did not know
I'm
that.
expecting my.
Alexis was right. Alexis was right about something.
Hold on, may the crowd say, okay, they're behind me. They're behind me.
But okay, so then why not make a stronger push for like Caicedo?
They tried. They bid 70 million.
Mudryk.
Oh, thank God that didn't go through.
I don't know.
No offense. No offense.
I don't know, bro. I'm still waiting on Mudryk. We talk about Mudryk a lot, but
Yeah?
I'm not giving up hope yet.
We
Yeah.
might as well nickname
But for-
Godot, bro, because you're gonna be waiting.
I mean,
much.
Mudryk is a great player.
That's a bid for me.
Yeah,
That's a
that
good
was a
bid.
good one, bro. That was a good one.
I think he's just I think Mudryk is a good player
I think
on
I think-
probably the worst club in the world.
That makes me feel much better. Thanks.
Wow. Just really put your arm around Miguelito there.
Yeah.
I think he will. I think he will come good. I think he'll be fine.
Okay.
But for right now, it's not looking great.
But also for Arsenal, a player like Trossard, who you could come back or come in and make an impact immediately, that was so much more impactful than a young player.
That was a very good
signing a January signing. I think
sure.
The best January signing. I think when you look at what Arteta's done is they've tried to get rid of a lot of players and add depth.
Right.
They've tried, right? They've got players injury. The injury bug is terrible, right? You haven't seen a player like Tomiyasu who's out for the season, right? You got players like El Neni who would have been able to come in and at least, have a shift here and there out for the season. So unfortunately, they're going to have to do the same thing again. They're going to have to add depth, especially when you're competing against Manchester City that has essentially 2 title-winning 11s. Really,
Right. Yeah, when we saw that against Everton, they were there were about 4 or 5 players that played against Real Madrid, all subs, and all.
when your subs are also the Monstars,
It's just like there was like at some point in like the 70-somethingth minute, and it's like coming on Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish.
Yeah,
and it's
you're
like.
like,
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Who did we just play against?
yeah.
What are these guys?
Is this fair? Why does the clock say 0-0-0 again?
So okay, so look, it's a bummer for Arsenal fans. Look, and I'm not saying this as like I want Arsenal to do well. It's a little bit of like I don't want City to win again. Right? It's like
That's it.
Similar to what's happening in a lot of other leagues where it's just like anybody but Bayern, anybody but PSG, anybody but City, and Arsenal couldn't do it. Even though they looked like they would for a long time.
And to me, I think if you are a fan of football, you should be rooting for someone other than City. Whether it's us this year or someone else next year, you would hope that someone other than City wins this thing. And even City was like, hey, thanks for making it a little tight. Yeah,
you made us. There was one beat of sweat.
I sweat a little bit. I had to answer 2 emails about what we were doing because of you guys.
Do not put my job in jeopardy.
Right?
all these emails. Okay, I need a mental health break.
That was a rough week. So thanks for that.
The other team I want to make sure we talk about for a little bit is
I will say before we talk about that, you and we need to chill.
We do need to chill, right?
Right.
just like Manchester City needs to chill.
Bro, I'm the one that needs to chill.
Yeah. Although I would suggest
Maybe not a Coors Light.
I would suggest formula.
Pepto-Bismol.
You might want to borrow some formula from Christian's kid. You and I need to chill. Arsenal players, Arsenal fans, everyone needs to chill. Like you and I, we get together with a couple friends. We want to watch some of the footy. Right? Remember we were doing the watch alongs here, right, for the World Cup. We would get together with friends. A couple fans came through, hanging out.
That's it.
We gotta chill. We gotta relax.
We're normal people. Sometimes people think we're not normal people.
Why? Just because we're the leaders of Blangola? Right? No.
I know all the lights and the cameras.
Bro, we're just like you, okay? We have our pants put on us one leg at a time.
Okay. What do you think Miguelito's here for?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To get the lion so I can ride it to breakfast. Look, we need to chill. We need to relax. And when we do that, we want to reach for something cold, crisp, refreshing. And there's only one thing that I can even think of that matches all of that. And that is a nice, cold Blue Mountain Coors Light. The mountains of Blangola in the background.
Let's go.
Coors
Okay.
Light.
Little known fact, that is actually
Yeah.
Okay. We're working on the branding with them. They'll sort it out.
They'll probably be upset about that, but don't worry about it.
Coors Light is cold filtered, cold, a lagered, cold, a packaged. Okay, so when you choose to chill, pair your plans with a nice cold Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/Cooligans.
That's CoorsLight.com/Cooligans. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Let's go. All right. Another Premier League team I do want to talk about because this was a bit of an issue a couple weeks ago. While I was away on paternity leave, there was I don't even remember the particular match, but you guys were talking about Aston Villa, and I want to talk about Aston Villa against
Myself and Christine Cupo, we're
right.
having just a nice, calm conversation about
Lovely
Aston Villa.
conversation.
And Aston Villa fans could have used a couple Coors Lights.
They desperately needed them. So Aston Villa defeats Tottenham 2-1. And overall, Aston Villa have had a remarkable season. I thought, obviously bringing in former Arsenal manager Unai Emery.
Complete turnaround
on board.
How much do you even remember Steven Gerrard was their manager?
That's right.
It feels like 15 years ago.
It's just like Unai Emery definitely brought a calmness to this club, which I thought Steven Gerrard was. And maybe this is a sign to what managers succeed or what managers do well at any particular moment. Like Steven Gerrard to me has like Mourinho vibes. Like I don't care who likes me, blah blah. Like he's just a little bit
think so?
rough around the edges.
Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, you don't think so?
No, I don't see that at all.
I remember. I remember more the matches against Everton where he would kind of like try to rile up Everton fans, and he just get press conferences were a little bit. He's not necessarily a warm guy. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I would put him more in the Mourinho category as like that managerial style, at least as the public facing kind of stuff. Unai Emery is just like a nice, like a fun dad.
Yeah,
you
to
know
some
what I mean?
degree, I think that's why he failed at Arsenal.
Really?
Yeah, because he was like too nice. They were making fun of his accent,
Right,
the whole good evening, and he was like, ha ha ha, making fun of it. I thought we were laughing together.
Right. And it's
fire.
It's fun. You know what I love about Unai Emery is that even though he has the good evening thing that he was made fun of for that, he still does it every interview. If you watch any interview where a post game match, he says the first thing he says, "Good evening," and goes on. He's like, "All right, this is who I am."
He's like, I look like Dracula. I don't care. I don't care, bro.
But I think what he's done with Aston Villa has been pretty incredible.
It's remarkable. And look, it reminds me of him storming to the Europa League final many years in a row with Sevilla. He seems to be able to manage. It's tough for him, I think, to manage. His failure at PSG and his failure at Arsenal hint to maybe he's not great in a locker room full of big stars.
Yeah.
But players that, sort of he can mold after him and that will listen to him, he is an incredible manager. And what he's been able to do with Aston Villa has been wonderful. There, Aston Villa fans, are you happy?
Okay, and I just want to make sure because this is I remember I was watching this clip and there was not a lot of respect given to Aston Villa. And personally, I don't know that much about Aston Villa.
You know why? Because you're not 75 years old the last time they were a big club.
And this is the thing. So if we go through some of the comments were just going crazy, bro. And it was just a lot of these lot have zero football knowledge.
Yeah, it's about don't give Americans a chance to have a football opinion. Don't give Yanks a show. Don't piss off Brummies, which I guess we're finding out.
Okay, we're learning. I like this one. This says, this is from John Dopper said.
Which, by the way, what's his avatar?
Is that Chelsea?
No, that's an Aston
Villa. Okay. Oh, yeah. But they have similar badges, right?
No.
Or logo?
This is sort of a.
It's a lion.
It's a lion.
They're both lion. Yeah. All right. Well, figure. So one of you got to pick.
Again,
you can't.
By the way, it's Juan Don Dopper.
It's Jaun.
Yeah, it is Jaun.
Okay. All right.
Jounden Dopper.
Okay.
Why are we giving this guy?
I was just saying. This was a funny one. It says Tut American view of English soccer teams, which I was saying soccer, which is already concerning, right? Aston Villa have about as much history as America itself, which again, I don't know. I didn't know that much about Aston Villa, but there's some. This is what tends to happen, and I want to relate this to what happened with Barcelona and Espanyol. Is we're comedians. So if anybody is not aware,
You think this is gonna matter?
no. But I'm not trying to convince anybody.
It's a Jawanda Dapper.
Joanna, man. So it's not about convincing anybody. It's about that sometimes this happens with us, where in general there is
Any slight embellishment,
anything, even like if you don't
hyperbole in any sense of the word.
If you didn't get the passage right from the Bible itself, they're like, I cannot listen to a word that the next word that's coming out of your mouth. And it just speaks to the tribalism, the almost religious view of that people have of their clubs, which we do appreciate, right? And as
it's what makes the sport
100.
It's a big part of why the sport is so engaging.
100%. That's why these comments, I'm like, this is fun. This is how it should be, right?
This is engagement.
Oh, it's engagement. It's engaging.
Yeah.
Okay. But
do you think this affects me like I'm an actual journalist? And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, I might be out of a job because Aston Villa fans with 15 subscribers on YouTube are upset with me. It says that, who cares?
Right, and but I kind of like when these moments happen, and we talk about it. It happens a lot on TikTok, especially because on TikTok, people that are not your followers are seeing a lot of your content. So there are people. So we're
But
getting.
the problem is like here's like a video of Roy Keane saying he doesn't like celebrating goals, or something, puppies, whatever, something fun, and then the next one TikTok is like, well, if you like that, here's another soccer content. And it's me and you, a clip out of context of you and I being funny.
Yeah.
Which typically involves heightening something. So a team that has had a relatively recent history of non-success.
Yeah.
Aston Villa. Which might I add, the last time you won the top flight was 1981.
All right.
Okay, that might have been 75 years ago.
Okay.
And here's the thing: they call themselves to they say they have history and that they're a big club because they've won. They've won Europe. I don't know what it was called then, to be honest with you, but I don't think it was called the Champions League. But in 1981-82, they won the big European competition.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the Europa. I don't think it was the Intercontinental Cup. They won. They were the runners-up. UEFA Super Cup. They were the winner as well. 82-83. So look, hey, they also won the Queensland Championship Cup in 2022. I mean,
that was a good one.
The big,
Who could forget?
But this is the thing that I want to talk about, because these comments like this are a little bit. Did you see? R.I.P. New York Knicks out of playoffs. Goddamn,
bro, Knicks in 8.
Okay.
Knicks in 8, bro. I think we got him.
Damn, I can't believe we have a Miami Heat fan in this damn room. You know what? I'm glad your bowels are.
Chelsea dusting.
At least I got the heat, bro.
But do you remember when Howard Stern? Did you see the comments from Howard Stern? Howard Stern was at Madison Square Garden.
He was upset that the players didn't know who he was.
He was upset the players didn't know who he was, and everybody was like, Howard. These guys are 19, 20 years old. They did not grow up watching you or whatever. They don't know who you are.
That's like Dame Judi Dench being upset that Quickly doesn't know who she is.
Damn, RJ, I thought we was.
Wow.
Okay, we're pillars in our own industry.
Mitch, nothing? You've never seen anything I'm in, bro?
Damn, bro, I gotta start doing TikTok dances or what? What's going on?
Oh, you didn't know James Duty Dench is a savage up here?
So that's kind of how I feel when Aston Villa fans are like, these guys, they don't know anything.
Right.
But like, bro, I'm 19.
Right. You're like the super old lady at the Oscars. Like, I was in Dial M for murder. What do you mean you don't remember?
Nobody knows the history. Like, this is what people get mad at. Like, oh, Manchester City fans. Like, oh, you just hop on the bandwagon and blah blah. Yeah, that's if you're.
Yeah.
Hot now, you're gonna get a lot of interest.
Yo, what kid is picking Aston Villa on FIFA, dog?
Bro,
Nobody. You small, dog.
accept it. Have a couple years,
Yeah.
where you're maybe fighting for first, along with
Win, bro.
That's it. I was just complaining about football knowledge. Yes, thank you for informing us. But we ain't gonna do the research ourselves.
No.
What do you expect?
It goes too far back, bro. If your highlights are on microfiche,
I can't
dog.
work with you, dog. I mean, man, it's,
bro.
okay, playing out there with Pele and stuff.
I know, dog.
I can't.
Oh, 50 frames a minute, black and white. Players look like they're hopping around and fast forward.
Where the cameras that they gotta roll.
Right? Oh, blowing out your rotator cuff to catch a 1-0 in the mud.
So, look, I appreciate the banter, the back and forth. We're Americans. We don't know anything about football. But, bro, I say this all the time. The Premier League, the top flight in England wouldn't be what it is without America. That's
It's
it.
facts.
That's it. You're
It's
gonna.
facts.
We're here. We're not going anywhere because you.
All that money your club getting every year for staying up?
Hey,
of us, bro.
You're welcome. All right.
Capitalism.
Yeah, man.
All right. Clap up for capitalism,
Yo.
bro. We call it clapitalism. That's what
That's right, bro. And if it's after midnight, it's make it capitalism, bro.
Okay, I want to MLS.
Congratulations on the great season, Aston Villa. I hope you get into Europa
I
League
hope you get
Conference League.
yes, and if you can get above
Tottenham.
Tottenham, all right,
on.
you'll make an Aston Villa fan out of
Mauricio
Alexis.
Pochettino only has to, manage one game a week until FA Cup.
What does that have to do with Pochettino?
Oh, that's right. It's Chelsea.
Yeah, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
never mind. I have no knowledge.
Okay, zero football knowledge.
Yeah. Actually, Julian Nagelsmann took himself out of the running for the Tottenham manager job as well.
Okay, well, look, clearly he cares.
Nobody wants you.
Cares about his mental health. And good for him.
But we didn't even get the flex on Tottenham in that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not necessary. Oh, so but I did mention before we go into Major League Soccer, Espanyol lost against Barcelona.
They're near relegation
at their stadium. Obviously, this is a derby, right? Because
massive derby.
Espanyol obviously are in
for one side
Barcelona, but the. After Barcelona, they congrats winning La Liga. Not too much of a little bit of a surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I think people
somebody tweeted the banter club era for Barcelona was mad short. I mean,
Sure.
People thought they were in the mud. I mean, they pulled every lever to potentially for them. They had to win Champions League. They didn't do that, but they won La Liga. That's something to celebrate, especially with Real Madrid having the season they're having in Europe. That's a big thing. Robert Lewandowski wins 11 seasons in a row, the league.
Right.
Insane.
Yeah. So
Well, I believe he's top scorer in La Liga.
we
Let me
don't
double
know.
check. I gotta look now.
Yeah. Well,
Hold on, I could find that.
we'll confirm. So Barcelona wins.
Yeah, he is. He's top scorer.
In
There
the
is.
how many goals?
21. Next one is Benzema at 17.
Good. All right. Good numbers. They win. We're watching this right now, but they are celebrating in the center circle.
Before you play this is your biggest rival's stadium, while they're now in 19th, potentially getting relegated, which would be horrific for Espanyol.
Right.
And this is a hated rival. And you decide to go ring around the rosy in the middle of the pitch.
It's a little bit, kind of dancing on their grave, vibes.
This is as dumb as filming John Moran on Instagram. Wherever
And
he
it wasn't
is.
even John. It wasn't even his friend's fault. He didn't know the gun was gonna come out. You saw him. He was like, "Oh my god, what is this guy doing?"
He just doesn't know what to do when Instagram Live is on, bro. You can't.
Yo, you need to pre-record.
Yeah.
Don't do it live.
Yeah, I don't suggest he gets help. I suggest he gets an editor, bro.
Use CapCut. Do something.
Get a social media manager.
But no, we're watching this, and Barcelona, the players and the staff.
This does not excuse so the Espanyol fans run on the pitch.
The ultras come out,
threaten.
and they really and then the Barcelona, the whole club runs into the locker room.
Pieces out. Actually, if you can watch it, there's a cameraman who falls, but goes back to get his equipment.
Oh, nice.
He busts his ass, but he goes back. You'll see it on the left-hand side of the. It might be difficult.
Okay.
But I feel bad because there's no excuse, and Nico said this. I agree. There's no excuse for running on the pitch and threatening players. There's also kind of distasteful to do this if you're not that this excuses what happened in any way, shape, or form. But it's really distasteful to celebrate this way. And this is me saying it.
Wait,
you know, where I'm like, again.
Where you say anything goes,
I'm
usually.
kind of okay with stuff like that, but this feels.
But
this is rubbing it in a way where it's like this is not necessary.
You are, and
you're close to home. It's not like you're in another country.
Right. And just like you were in the Etihad, and obviously you weren't wearing an Arsenal shirt, but you were.
I had no colors.
Yeah, no, you were just literally monotone gray or whatever. But there's a certain or whatever code, if it's written or unwritten, you're like, I can't go a little too crazy right now because I just got to look after myself.
Turns out also not reacting will cause a stir.
So it's look, it's one of those two wrongs don't make a right.
No,
but there's
no excuse for them running on the pitch. But I could see why they're very upset. There's an air of classiness that you would expect from Barcelona that this isn't it. And to Charlie Davies' point, Xavi should know better. Xavi should be like, what are we doing, dude?
Sure. Yeah, this does.
It's also not like Espanyol beat you to the league a few times. If you did this at Santiago Bernabeu, you could almost be like, I kind of get it. You know what I mean? But to do this at Espanyol?
Yeah, it's a little bit. Remember when Terrell Owens ran and celebrated at the start?
I brought that same reference up, bro. You put the start, but at least you put the thing down and you walk away, and the other player can tackle you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the end of a game where this team is going to be relegated.
Look, I mean,
if the Espanyol players ran out and beat the crap out of the Barca players, I'd kind of be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's not okay.
No,
it's not okay. But it's just like, you didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's definitely antagonistic. We have to put some accountability on the choice for Barcelona and the club to do something like this. And it wasn't like nothing was going to happen.
Right. If there's a pit bull in a cage and you're stabbing it with a stick and that cage door slowly opens, what happens next?
Yeah.
You might have earned.
I mean, Herculez Gomez, I don't know if you saw his tweet because he was talking about it and he really leaned on the ultras. He's like, we can't support this. We can't.
No.
It's almost like I want to pull up his exact quote. But he's essentially saying, because his words were very particular and specific. Let me see if I can find it. But he essentially highlighting the fact that like the ultras are where's his actual quote? Oh, he says, please stop empowering and romanticizing ultras. This is so much more than a game to them. It transcends logic or reason. It's sick. So this is there
is a wild, toxic, sort of air around ultras. It's a bit much. I get like this insane passion. Same thing with, in Milan, the ultras having like a meeting with the players. Which I get it, bro. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into this team week in and week out. You should have the right to like have an opinion and say something. You're putting for a lot of these people, you put that on your arm or on your body somewhere.
Yeah.
You put your whole life into it. It's a generational thing. But also it's like, bro, it could be a little toxic to have groups of people showing up. If we had Cooligans ultras that came in here and were like, hey, man, that bit in a second, I'd be like, why are you here?
I mean,
bum rushing the Men in Blazer studio.
It would change the tone of this show for sure. And Herculez has another tweet, and it says, quote, this isn't about the celebration. Don't get it twisted. Espanyol don't want their rivals to win a title on their soil. Don't lose, right? And continues, says, stop making excuses for idiots. That's all you do if you shift the blame from Espanyol ultras. So I get it. And he's basically saying like, Barcelona, they're going to celebrate and this shouldn't be the reaction. But this is the thing when I was even talking about like the tribalism part of it. And this is what when you hear, and we've been seeing a lot of American ownership get involved into the sport and into the business of the sport. We saw you had interviewed, right, JJ Watt and Kaylee Watt.
Yeah.
In Burnley, and you hear whenever an American owner, or pretty much anybody, but when American ownership gets involved and they're like, oh, I love the passion of the fans, and we see it with Wrexham and all this other stuff, and we also had another video where you were you and Kupo were talking about Wrexham and the fandom in America and the people.
Right.
It made its way to Wrexham Twitter or whatever, or YouTube, and they were just like, these guys, they don't know what they're talking about. These fans are born and blah 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 and stuff like that, which we respect and admire. But there has to be a constant knowledge of what you're getting yourself into, because Herc is making this point about like the ultras, they took it too far, but this is like, radical extremism, let's say, in politics or whatever. And it happens in this sport, and it happens in soccer, where people are so just absolutely fundamentalist about FC Cincinnati or whatever, you know what I mean? But like,
right.
It can get to that point, and what the sport that you're stepping into, you are making money off of the passion that these people have.
You're exploiting it.
You're exploiting it, and if you make money off of it, obviously these fans, they want their club to do well. They want them to play in Europe. They want them to succeed. They want to win trophies. So the fans know that their passion is being exploited. They accept that, but they accept that at the return is, you better do well, because I want to be proud of my club. But this is why I don't 100% agree with Hercules, because the reason this sport is so popular and so entertaining is a little bit because
big part of that.
Yeah,
but because they've used it for marketing. But let's just.
I'm not supporting violence or anything like that.
No.
But just this is not new. This passion about
at
the
a much
game.
lower level, it was like how smoke flares or smoke bombs are disallowed in MLS. You're not allowed to have it, but yet they use video of fans using smoke bombs in advertising. Obviously not the same level, but just think about we almost excuse it because it's soccer, right? We're used to seeing it, so we accept it. Imagine, just play along with me, okay? Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Okay, hey, Christian, you're a big Knicks fan, right?
The biggest.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Listen, we're going to need you to show up to the Lower East Side on Sunday. About 1,500 of us are going to go to Miami Heat bar and meet 1,500 Miami Heat fans, and we're all going to fight with sticks. Is that cool?
Oh, okay. This is a little unorthodox, but
Yeah.
I never got this phone call from my season ticket rep. But
Imagine the lunacy of that.
It's insane.
But in this sport, it's like, well, of course.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Why didn't you call me sooner?
Money. Don't even tell me where it is. I'm just going to start beating up anyone wearing black and red on the way to the Lower East Side.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolute insanity if you mention that. Oh, Giants, hey, we're going to meet outside. A bunch of Jets fans are going to also come. And the old-timey war, we're just going to meet and fist fight. It's ridiculous.
I love how, Alexis, and he said fist fight. Which is like, I thought you were just going to stop right there.
Yeah. You decide where. You pause that tape wherever you want.
So
that's like the other day. Someone goes, "How's Dee?" I go, "Oh, good. She just left the hospital." And they go, "I go, because she works there." I'm like, "No. She works there."
Right.
That's like, "Oh my God, my wife. Yeah, she's dying to see me later. I gotta rush."
Okay. Well, you gave me a little bit of a heart murmur right there.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I made my return to the stage after 2 months.
Oh, congrats! How'd it go?
This weekend, first one, not great.
That's how it is. That's comedy.
Woof! Kicked the rust off during that first show. Second one, incredible.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oof! Kick the training wheels off. Easy.
All right, let's move on to MLS. We had rivalry week over the weekend. NYCFC in the Hudson River Derby against Red Bull did not go well for the boys in blue.
NYCFC did not play. NYCFC away played.
That's
a different club.
It's a different club.
That's a different club.
We don't know them.
They stink. NYCFC home. Great club.
This is, I mean, why they should be winning CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah, dude. That's who you want to show up.
And look, and you could argue that Rebel Arena is kind of still a home stadium, but it's not.
Nah, you can't.
They didn't
argue.
have the stickers up, and
No.
they didn't have a
Bert Kreischer wasn't. It's not a.
That was kind of cool though.
Shane Torres was there.
Shane Torres. That's what we were talking about. There was another two
I
comments.
text him.
Bert Kreischer, the machine, right?
Yeah. Promoting The Machine, the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was out there. He interrupted John Tolkien's interview. Which I want to.
Did you know Tolkien's 20?
Yeah, he's a kid.
Bro, there's something about that guy that makes me feel like he's older than me. I don't know what it is. He carries himself.
There's a lot of people way more mature than you. So
well, yeah,
so I can see
and a
that.
lot of them are 20.
But this is my only gripe with MLS and how they used that MLS that Bert Kreischer little. You know, that's content, bro. He's a very popular comedian.
Massively popular.
He was in the Capo stand.
No one at CBS knows who he is. No one else there. They're like, who? Who? Is he funny?
Unbelievable.
Is he big deal? And I'm like,
but this is an MLS wrap up.
There's a second movie coming out.
In MLS wrap up, they
Which
show
Van Wilder is about his life, by the way. That's the first movie for those.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. All right, look, this is
more
a
you
press
know.
junket.
Yeah.
This is the Bert Kreischer autobiography.
Yeah,
section,
for those of you who
bro.
don't know.
But the MLS wrap up is showing a clip of the John Tolkien interview. And I'm waiting. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great because I'm going to get to see Jillian Sakovits, Nigel Reo-Coker, and Andrew Wiebe react to Bert Kreischer interrupting the Tolkien interview. Bro, why did they cut it out of the MLS wrap-up show? They cut out Bert Kreischer's moment. And it's like...
Bro, this is
crazy.
Do you want... You're giving away a month for free, MLS. Because no one's watching. Here's one way to get people to watch. Have Bert Kreischer with his shirt off all over this damn thing.
That would have been hilarious. I just wanted to see what Nigel Reo-Coker would have had to say about
This would not be allowed in England.
Bro, that's
especially when you have like two. I know that not on that show, but you have two Red Bull guys all over 360.
Right.
No one brings this up.
Well, I mean,
that part of the show is over.
Yeah,
so you
but
get
in the
B
wrap
squad.
up,
No
they should have. They should have done it. I don't know why. Poor decision. I don't see the point in omitting
we talked
that.
about how MLS will just continue to get in their own way.
Yeah, just
multiple times, like when they try to punish LA Galaxy for the shooting moon, shooting stars theme, never hiring us. There's so many ways they've just gotten in their own way.
Just constant failure after failure. No. I just thought it was a strange decision because it would have been.
It's bad decision making.
It would have been such a fun moment. I don't know. Hopefully somebody. I mean, we know some MLS folks listen
if Tom
to this.
Segura kicked the door in, we'd make a clip out of it.
Okay, that's gonna be. You're gonna be seeing that quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
But rivalry week, a couple of the big matchups. We have to obviously go over Hudson River Derby. NYCFC lose 1-0.
All the bum teams won, bro. Chicago won. LA Galaxy won. New York Red Bulls won.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's crazy.
Look, overall, I thought NYCFC to me was just objectively the better team. I was watching this game and I'm like, there's no way they're gonna lose this, right?
No.
There's no way. Gabi Pereira gets that great shot that kind of nicks the crossbar, and just a overall frustrating game because again we see NYCFC at home. Why can't they find some of this chemistry away? Makes no real sense. But look, Red Bull, they held on. But I thought they were gonna.
So that goal was pretty incredible.
It was
Fernandez.
Yeah,
incredible.
It was awesome.
But that said, I agree with you. This wasn't necessarily a obvious win for Red Bull. But look, NYCFC, remember us? let me talk to you real quick, bro. Get a striker.
Bro,
It's the only thing you're missing.
That's obvious.
Everyone else goes back to the positions they want to play in and that they're good at.
Yeah.
Get a striker. Talis Magno doesn't want to do it. I respect it. He's good on the left. Go get a striker, please.
Yeah. They
What do we got? 3 weeks before Europe season's done? Start leaking some names.
Well, that's the thing. I think at this point, look, they lost in U.S. Open Cup to FC Cincinnati, 1-0.
1-0.
Lose to Red Bull. They
1-0.
They lost to Charlotte, 3-2. I think,
which is essentially a 1-0.
Yeah, but it's obvious. They need a striker. Look, and I brought this up before, but getting rid of Eber, maybe he wanted more money, maybe it just didn't work out. Whatever.
He ain't even playing that much in Seattle.
Yeah, it seems like such a wild decision.
Eber might not have been the guy you roll with for an entire season either. He's injury prone, based on his history with us.
Yeah, but it's better. It would have been having him would have been better than this. I mean, because not having a consistent starting striker has changed the role of several other players.
Santi for sure, but also Richie Ledesma, man. This guy has proven to me that he wants to make that final pass.
Yeah, he has no one to really get it to.
He has to go wide and then be like, well, I still got work to do, bro. I did all the good stuff.
There's just like no real threat in the middle of like to keep the center backs a little bit worried. So it's been tougher to score. I saw Nick Cushing did an interview with Glenn Crooks, and he was just kind of saying, and I don't know if this is, I wouldn't say it's out of touch, but he was kind of just saying that the offense is looking how they want it to look. They just can't get that over that final hump. He's
said in the past that there will be a striker signed.
Yeah.
So he can't just keep beating that drum. He has to say something else.
Yeah.
And I will say the offense looks good.
The offense does look, the build-up is great. But we're not
My wife could tell you. You gotta get the finish right.
Finishing, okay.
It's almost as important as the build-up.
We want to cut the ribbon to let everybody go, come inside the building.
Right. My wife will tell you, hey, stop all the dancing. At some point, you gotta at least walk it over the line.
Let me ask you guys a question. I got a question for you.
Go for it.
Big one for NYCFC, a new player they're gonna sign. Who is the next Denny Bouanga that's gonna come? Because I think this is where MLS is going to go. They're going to start searching for the lower European leagues like Turkey or like a bad French team or something like that, or the Eredivisie. And they're going to find these players who are maybe still kind of in their prime, looking for a big payday, not good enough to reach that, Premier League level. Is there anyone we could go for?
I mean, it's a tough one because there's...
Yeah, we would be MLS scouts if we could give you that actual name. But Denny Bouanga is 28 years old. Came from Gabon as a country. Let me see if I can pull up his...
he was in Saint Etienne and then he was at
Galatasaray
for a little bit.
But I mean, he was at Nîmes. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's exactly how it's pronounced, but Lorient, Tours, Strasbourg, Lorient Bay.
Journeyman.
I just feel like this is going to be the next wave. He's doing so well, and he's a player in his prime.
Dude, he's killing it.
But he's also on a very good team, right? LAFC have brought in just great player after great player. They find pieces that complement each other. Well, and
did you see his goal? Carlos Vela just like rolled it over to him and was like, yo, go get me a statistic. Go get me a scat.
LAFC also, who is it? John Thorrington, right? The GM. But they've made good decisions, and they've made good decisions in also letting players go. They had...
Who's the guy they called like Swaggy T?
Swaggy T.
Remember?
Tristan Blackman.
Yeah,
who's at Vancouver, who's having a decent season, but he was like a good center back, and they were like, nah. Not good enough. Like, the goalkeeper,
we'll find better.
Tyler Miller, they got rid of Tyler Miller. Like,
they also spend big within MLS for Aaron Long.
Yeah. So they've just been they're like kind of cutthroat. They're like, nah, we have a standard, and if it's not met,
which, can I be honest with you, isn't that what Real Madrid does?
Oh, 100%.
Like when Real Madrid thinks we've gotten what we can out of you, you're done.
Yeah.
Look at Casemiro. Yeah. Casemiro is a prime example recently. If you go back, unfortunately, Mesut Ozil. When they're like, the headache isn't worth your talent. We can find talent elsewhere. You're done. And there's no player that Real Madrid gets rid of because they lost them. It's because they wanted to get rid of them.
Exactly.
And to some degree, LAFC is kind of now becoming that team for MLS where they're like, no, when you hit that part in the graph where your quality and value start to cross, you're out.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
we'll move on and get somebody else.
we can always ask the questions of how did they get Gareth Bale and how did they get through all these financial sort of hurdles, but, but
we'll be looking into it.
but so no, it's a difficult question to answer. But obviously this summer you should expect a couple big signings and kind of game-changing players. Hopefully, Lionel Messi. That's who I'm crossing my fingers for. But for
news is that he might be able to sign back with Barca.
Well, let's get Ryan Ruiz to toss that dumb rumor out of the way.
Well, also Barca was the one that said that, so it's kind of
I honestly don't.
Part of his press conference.
I think that's. I think Messi going back to Barcelona would be detrimental to Barcelona.
It was so stupid.
I don't understand why he would go back.
You don't go back.
Yeah.
Bro, block your ex.
Okay, so a couple other results that were notable.
Atlanta losing to Charlotte. Huge.
Atlanta losing to Charlotte. A really dumb red card from Gutman.
Bro, that's 4 L's in a row if you're Atlanta. I mean, one of them is against Tormenta. But
did you see the they also
Memphis. It was Memphis 901.
Okay. Did you see there were 9 red cards on Saturday in Major League Soccer, which is kind of wild. There were a couple.
That's almost as much as Boca versus River. In one match.
Trying to keep up. But Chicago beat St. Louis. Obviously, new coach Frank Klopas, interim manager, got the win there. But the Charlotte one, Justin Miram gets a brace, doesn't celebrate. We were obviously just talking about Joseph Martinez.
We talked about this on Morning Footy. He played 20 games there.
Oh, all right. I mean that you don't think it's worth not celebrating?
2 years. He didn't win the league there.
He won something.
He won Open Cup.
Open Cup.
And something else. Campeones.
Campeones was the
yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
Or League Cup. Well, what's the one that against Joseph Martinez was the one game? Campeones Cup.
That's Campeones
Cup.
Cup. Yeah.
Bro, I know he gives him a lot of credit. My conspiracy theory is that this throws a little shade at Columbus, where you would probably associate him with.
Oh, yeah.
But I think there wasn't much of an amicable split there. I think that they were I think he was upset about the way he left there. Mm-hmm. So by showing reverence to Atlanta, it's kind of shading Columbus?
Maybe.
You see that? You kind of see where...
Okay, yeah. I mean,
it's a bit of a reach, but if you know me...
Yeah, he was just trying to get back at an ex by showing how good he treated... another ex.
An ex he didn't spend as much time with.
Right. So, okay, I get it. But to me, as soon as I saw that, I just thought of Joseph Martinez. I'm like, oh, well, he celebrated quite a bit when he scored against...
Joseph Martinez like, do it, baby. Shine on them, baby.
He was waiting for Almiron to pull up, and they were just going to do the Dragon Ball Z together.
Montreal also beats Toronto.
We got to start talking about Montreal, bro.
Bro. Are they back? They back. Okay, bak. I don't know. I hope that's French. They went 2-0. They also beat Toronto in the Canadian
twice in a
championship.
row.
So that's they're very excited about that. But Montreal had a terrible start to the season. It was basically them and Sporting Kansas City neck and neck. And
they had 1 win and 6 losses to start the season.
Bad.
That's terrible.
Not good at all.
But now they've got 6 wins in a row.
And especially with their coach, Hernan Lozada, who left DC because apparently he was...
where he was bad.
Where he was abusing the players, I guess. They were just saying, remember, he was overworking them and the training was too hard. Even though Julian Gressel had said on his podcast, he was like, this guy changed my life. This was great. I love the work ethic and everything like that. And he said, but if guys couldn't keep up with it's too much too quickly for them. So Hernan Lozada got a little bit of this label of like Phil Knight kind of, being aggressive and
throwing a chair across the pitch.
So it's maybe I'm assuming he is implementing the same strategy, right? Lozada is a Bielsa. Is that Bielsa connection?
Not that I know of. I mean, he is Argentinian.
I think there might be. He might have worked with him or in some capacity. I feel like I heard that somewhere. Could be wrong. But when you hear, as far as like getting the players incredibly fit,
he's from Independiente. he played there for 2 years, and that was his last time in Argentina. Then he went to Beerschot, Anderlecht, Heerenveen, Sporting Charleroi, huge club. Beerschot again, on a free to Lierse, back to Beerschot. And I'm going to give you a hint. You know he coached, obviously, Montreal, before that, DC. Can you guess where he was before that?
He was in Belgium, right?
I'll give you a hint. I mentioned their name like 4 times.
Beerschot. Yeah. I remember. That's
It says he does count Bielsa as one of his, inspirations as a coach.
Inspirations for sure. Which Bielsa is known for, trying to get the stamina of his players all the way up to basically be able to press for 90 minutes straight.
Okay. The other, I wanted to bring up a couple other things. Houston Dynamo lost at home for the first time this season. They lost to Seattle 1-0.
That's the first goal they've given up at home.
It's just pretty wild. But the reason they gave it up because they had 2 players sent off. Hector Herrera, HH. This is his second red card of the season. He got one.
Getting too sturdy, bro.
How is your DP and a midfielder too? Why is this dude getting sent off 2 times already in the season? This is like the 13th game or 12th game. I think
it was off 2 yellows, right?
It was, which is I think a little worse, right?
Yeah.
You had
the first one's called a warning for a reason, bro.
Why is this dude? I don't know, either playing too aggressively or whatever. But this should not happen with this player. That's the main thing, and they need him.
They do, but could it just be that he's trying really hard?
That second yellow was just like, I forgot who he was dragging back, or maybe it might have been Ladero or somebody. But just dumb. I don't know. It's just like dumb, cheap fouls, don't really make much sense.
Yeah.
And you just don't want... I mean, I'm not saying he should be getting 12 assists a game and a bunch of goals. It's like, we understand it's going to build up, and he's not that type of player. But he's also not this type of player.
Right.
I don't get it. So,
but you can't be bringing that Atletico Madrid to MLS. The refs are a little different here. For example, they call these things.
You got to chill.
Yeah.
The other, Sporting Kansas City gets another win. They win. They beat Minnesota United.
Are they bak?
They are bak. Okay. They looked fantastic, and this is also the homie.
Oh my fucking God!
Gavincho, streaming that game and seeing them win for the first time this season while he was streaming.
3 wins in their last 5.
What is that? Everyone was essentially, we were talking about this. Like, are they done with Vermees? Should they move on? And I guess he heard our show.
He was like, "Fine, I'll go to work.
I'll do what I gotta do." Congrats to Sporting Kansas City, who I'm thinking of the Kansas City current game, which Mahomes was there. Didn't Mahomes' his brother get arrested or something like that?
Yeah.
Did he do something really bad?
Yeah, he was assaulted a bar worker or something.
Not great. Great. Okay, you don't want to see that.
Someone called, because he's like a TikTok star,
famous
right?
TikToker.
Yeah.
They said he's the Fredo of the family because Mahomes is like such a good guy. But yeah, I mean,
young Mahomes and Morant in a video.
Maybe they'll do a TikTok together. Ja has the gun out in the back while Jackson's doing it.
Being dumb.
Right?
Okay.
Well, young Mahomes is pistol whipping. But hey, Shallowy would have goal and an assist.
Yes. No, they look great. So I thought, hopefully, like any these teams that are bad. This is the thing with MLS, that the teams that are
first 10 games don't matter. We say this every year, and then we go on these rants about the first 10 games, and then once again they do not matter.
You did say this a few weeks ago, and I was like, "What do you mean? How can the first third of the season not matter?" But you're totally right, bro.
I don't agree because it's rare for a team that's like last place in a playoff spot ends up winning. That really does not happen. Even when NYCFC won MLS Cup and they were in like in 5th or 6th or whatever, and they essentially had to play most of their playoff games on the road and won. That's very, very rare. This chemistry and this I don't know, momentum all that stuff is important, like obviously towards the playoffs. But yeah, the teams that are really bad in the beginning tend to be pretty bad at the end. That's all.
More than half of each division make it into the playoffs.
That is true, but the teams that are usually away.
If by the end of the season you're not in 9th place out of 14 in the West, you was garbage anyway, bro. The first 10 games of the season didn't matter. You could have won all 10. If you ain't getting in the playoffs.
If you're in 9th place and you make it to the playoffs, you've been around garbage. You stink a little bit.
You had a good season.
You made it.
If you make it into the playoffs.
But you don't smell great.
Nah. No one wants to be near you. But you had a good season. You made it to the playoffs.
Okay. I mean, look, and that's relative to the particular team, right? Because if it's Seattle Sounders in 9th place, that's not a good season.
They won MLS Cup from showing up in the last place of the playoffs.
The other one that was kind of wild, Philadelphia Union win in Colorado, but there was another big scuffle in the end. I think 3 red cards were given in this game.
They're getting too sturdy.
But Philadelphia Union, after getting knocked out of CONCACAF Champions League, look to be back to their old ways, and I think it's a big road win in Colorado. Where they have been improving quite a bit.
Did Cabral point at his name at all?
He did not. Who pointed at their name this weekend? Somebody did.
Did someone?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Bouanga after he scored the banger?
Bouanga does this.
Oh, he did the archery.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was. Inter Miami did beat New England.
Shout out Mike Ryan. He was right.
Yeah, big. That's a very unexpected win overall. But and then
Joseph Martinez scored again, right?
He did score again. So yeah, he's looking great.
Again, first 10 games of the season do not matter, bro.
And LA beating San Jose is another result that makes no real sense. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and not convincingly either. Yeah. In fact, San Jose lost. I wouldn't say LA won.
Yeah.
But once again, managers saving their jobs at the last second.
Speaking of Mother's Day, I don't know if you saw this. I don't have this video up, but Racing Louisville did one of the most adorable.
Oh, with the moms.
The moms saying the starting lineup.
It was mad cute.
Bro.
Yeah.
Your boy was crying into his phone.
Were you?
I was like mad emotional.
You know what's funny? The first few times I saw it, I'm like, yo, this looks mad boring because I was watching it on mute.
Uh-huh.
And then I finally watched it and I was like, all right, this is kind of endearing. I thought the moms
I don't understand the point of this at all. Why is
No, I thought the moms were like, I love you.
Boring.
I'm like,
boring crap, mom.
Bro, how would your mother say your name if she was saying the starting lineup for
Cristian
Polanco?
Yeah.
My mother would be like, Alexi, ¿por qué tú no llamas Guerrero? My mother saw me, so I got to the restaurant early. We went, shouts to Hibachi, bro. Got to the restaurant
Where's
early.
he play?
Huh? He's Matoma's cousin. Whatchamacallit? I got to the restaurant early, so I sat at the bar. It's one of those old, I can't tell if it's like late 80s, early 90s restaurants where the bar is covered. So you can't see who's at the bar. It's like, what point is this? So I'm sitting in this big cushy seat, which is ridiculous at a bar. And my mother texts me, we're here. So I text her, I'm at the bar. She comes over. She immediately punches me in the stomach. Not hard, playfully punches me in the stomach. And she goes, how come you didn't call? I'm like, because I'm gonna see you. Happy Mother's Day. Why are we arguing the moment you see me on Mother's Day?
Well, you see, this Mother's Day, what I did was I just brought a baby. That comes.
And you doesn't matter. You know what? Yo, next year, can you let me borrow Mateo?
Because
I'll just chuck Mateo into my mother's arms.
They were quite happy that there was a baby that I was bringing. Okay, they didn't. My mom didn't want a gift. She didn't want anything. She could care less.
Did you get wifey something?
Nah, bro. Can't stand her.
That baby, bro.
You're welcome. Yes, I did get her a gift. Yes, it was her first Mother's Day. It was a lovely experience. Now she got to match that energy for Father's Day, bro. Okay? Let's go.
Do we got to get you something for Father's Day? This will be the first Father's Day gift I buy.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's just
I get you the other baseball glove. I'm crying.
I've had a good track record with Father's Day, bro. So look, if you wanna, you can make up. You wanna, I don't know, paint a turkey with your hand.
Yo, closure, bro.
Do whatever you gotta do. Make a tie in class.
My teacher asked me to make a painting of the family and Polanco's on the other side of the Blangola door. Why is Dad outside in this photo?
Okay, so look, we can get through. We can do a lot of emotional work
I think we can resolve a lot
with this show, bro.
Bro, we both end up going to therapy through this show, bro.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you are healed just like we are.
Bro.
We appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on all social networks at Soccer Cooligans. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Cooligans. Go for it. And subscribe. Join the Patreon as well. Patreon.com/SoccerCooligans. We do a show there called No Cap Recap, which is just about anything, comedy, stuff that happens behind the scenes, all that stuff. So
It's a non-soccer.
it's a non-soccer. It's, sometimes there'll be drama. Okay, maybe
And if stuff happens, this is where we reveal all the stuff that happens behind the scenes.
right. So the real emotional work happens on Patreon.
We couldn't do that when we first left Fubo because some of the Fubo people joined the Patreon. But other than that,
but that's all good. We've kicked them out.
yeah.
But we appreciate it, right? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in on DraftKings Network as well. Y'all the absolute best. We will see you on Thursday, another new episode. Make sure you subscribe to the Cooligans podcast. Tell your friends about it all. We will see you in just a couple days. All right, everybody. Peace.
Love you
It's
guys.
the Cooligans, buddy.